Y'all are all like in deep conversation. I'd love to see that, I'd love to hear it. But we gotta keep going, we gotta keep moving. Okay, so I will be introducing our performer for today. So, this month's theme is touch. When I found out about that theme, there's only one person that I knew that could actually understand that aside fully. And that is our lovely performer, Fefe. She's a 25-year-old trying to create a Haitian descent. Fefe has been an incessant writer for as long as she's been able to hold a crayon, pen, marker, anything that can bleed onto a paper. In 2021, she took the leap and began performing spoken word, representing her experiences as a Black woman, child of immigrants, little sister, a sister that raised her siblings, survivor, and sexual being. But ultimately, really, she's just writing what it means to be a human. In the last 2 years, Fefe has covered significant ground in the Toronto international spoken word scene, and she's literally just gotten back from doing a tour in the US, where she's hit up places like Philly and other institutional places like Atlanta, where it can be tough to get to break through in the performing arts spaces. And she's doing the thing. She's also been selected as the only international performer in various poetry collectives, including the erotic Honey Drippers, the lucrative Pen and Pens, and the Harlem Bomb Shelter. When she's not spinning spoken word soliloquies, Fefe is hosting erotic writing workshops, celebrating self-love, and releasing books of poetry, including 2019's Counting Bodies. So, come on, y'all. Let's give it up.
Hi. What he didn't say is I am also painfully shy, and I'm going to imagine everyone naked. Yeah. So, again, my name is Fadana, lovingly poetically known as Fefe. I am from here, technically. Are we from here? I live here. And I am a poet, but these days I am tapping back into the OG roots of storytelling. So, that was rude. Who did that? So I am going to be telling you a story today about touch and about shadows and about a girl touching a shadow. What kind of garden bears no fruit? The kind that grows its flowers out of its spine. The kind that lays on its back and let unholy things use its body as a bridge. The kind that has legs in the sky and not the kind we kneel to pray with. The kind that reminds the devil that he likes red and you paint your toes in his exact favorite shape. So while he's there, making a shadow, trying to find common ground, asking my body to contort to his touch, making honey out of my weakened limbs, tasting a storm before asking it what it wants to be named or who died to give it life. You're here, making your shadows, telling me with your fingers that I belong to you, that I am creation in its purest form. You remind me that I was conjured on the seventh day, that Creator rested after, for thousands of years actually. You remind me that I move when you tell me to, that my body is so flexible that it bends and breaks every time you touch the right spot, and you know where they are because you are the one who installed them in the first place. So you're here, building those shadows, making magic out of moons and moments where mountains find themselves flattened on my chest, decorated to match your eyes, yearning for your touch. You're here, building those shadows, stacking them on top of each other, reminding me that your eyes are full of sky, that you can make it rain whenever you feel like, that my thighs, they part to the scent of your presence, that you've chased me in every single one of my past lives and have millions of years to make up for before your shadow is all that's left. You asked me to swallow my butterflies while you trace your name on the lining of my throat, and I do. You asked me to halt the streams and make them come to your command, and I do. You asked my heart to whisper your name, and my body suspended itself in the air just so the sky can hear it too, and I do. You asked me if I'm scared. I am. No one touches me like you. Not like you or your shadow. That asks my bones for permission to move every time it wants them to. And they do. They never say no. They never pretend like they don't yearn for your hands, like you yearn for this canvas to paint and place them on. You tell me that I'm safe here, and I'm not foolish or dumb enough to believe you. I never was. It's too quiet here. There's not enough chaos for this to be safe. There's only you and your stacked up shadows. You tell me that I am so damn fine that the sun waits for me to wake up to tell it how to shine, and it does. I am waiting for the flicker of your fingers to remind it that it holds light. You tell me that I could turn you into stone, and I know. You and your shadow. I remember that I am magic every time I allow someone to look at me and they forget to move after. You ask me what stories I hold in these bones, and I ask you to cut me open and read. I look you in the eyes while you make themes on my body. I can't help myself. You hold my face and demand attention. Every stroke feels like one step into the fire, but I'm always willing to burn under God's morning star, under his favorite sun. You say I'm not supposed to want this, but I do. I want you to remember every line, scribble your name everywhere. This is your manifesto. Everyone will see this and know that you were there. This is the last thing that you need to breathe for. This is your final act. This is your shadow's keepsake. I turn my face and roll my eyes and bite my lips, and I wait for you and your shadow. I connect with your words. I connect with your heart. I connect with your spirit. You remind me that I breathe for you. You remind me that you're too beautiful to be ignored, especially while you're here making your shadows. All I could do is watch. All I could do is stand there. There's nothing left in me except for you. There's no one on this planet except for me and you. You froze them all so we could have the moon to ourselves, so the stars could dance on my skin uninterrupted, so you could touch every cell that makes me and not be disturbed, so my breath could be the only music left in the space. You speak so loudly without ever moving your mouth. You call me grace every time you blink God into your eyelids, so someone could witness this magic, this act of defiance. You call me beautiful with every glance, and you suspend me above the ocean just so I could serve it as a mirror, so I could watch myself. With nothing but the whites of your eyes, you write every love letter your hands forgot to participate in, paralyzed by my touch while you blink a single tear on my chest. You and your shadow. There's nothing left to say. There's no breathing left to do. So I consume both you and your shadow. And I tell you that I love you enough to make universe out of your smile until the day you come back, until another thousands of years when you come back here and you find me dancing with your shadows. I'll be here, making my own.
Snap. Round. One more time, y'all. I have a couple questions for you.
What's up?
Couple questions. Okay, so how did you get into this whole writing thing? I know, like, in your bio you said, like, ever since you pick up the pencil, but, like, was there a thing? Was there, like, that moment?
You know how I said I'm like painfully shy? So, you know when you get into an argument with somebody and then everything you want to say leaves your brain immediately, and then it comes back like 10 minutes later and you're like, I should have said that. I would have destroyed that. So,
Preach every day.
I personally cannot live with that feeling. I can't handle it. So I started writing down the things that I should have said. So that's where that all started. Yeah, I had a burn book before it was fun.
Appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, so for anybody else who like wants to start their own like writing journey, like, or not even just writing, like artistic journey, tapping into like that in yourself, do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, just do it. I think that the easiest way to start any journey is to start. And to not be worried about whether or not you're good at it. Art is subjective. Someone's gonna like it. The only audience member that matters is yourself. The only person whose opinion matters at the end of the day is your own. No, it doesn't matter if a billion people like your art. If it's not perfect to you, like you're never gonna be satisfied with it. Beyonce doesn't get on stage for people, she does it for herself. So, be Beyonce, and yeah, just start.
Amazing.
Just do it. Sponsored by Nike.
Someone write a check. There you go. So any upcoming projects?
Yeah, so I have a book coming up in the month of, I don't know when, the day of haven't been decided yet. The book is finished. The procrastination has just begun. So, it's called Leave Enough of Me, and I don't like to toot my own horn, but it's fucking amazing. Yeah, so I just have to look at it until I hate it, and then I can give it to everybody else. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. So, how can people find out when it drops, and how can they stay in contact with you?
You can follow me on Instagram at FEFE Writes, like just writes, the word writes. You can, yeah, I guess that's a good place to start because then my website is also there, which is just fefewrites.com, because I'm not that creative. Yeah, and I usually overshare, so you'll find out there.
Thank you so much. Let's give it up one more time.